Welcome to our How to ISO series of webinars that we'll be presenting over the next 20 weeks, really designed to bring you insights from our 20 plus years of experience around implementing management systems. What works, what doesn't, particularly in the latter category. How can you avoid heading down a pathway of things that not immediately self-evident, but can become a problem 3, 5, 10 years down the track and affect the kind of performance that you want to achieve. So we're going to share a lot of the tools and techniques we use. We'll put a lot of resources on our webpage so that you can download templates and use those resources. And really, share the approach we take if you like. So if you are an organisation thinking about implementing a management system, you'll get a lot of value out of this. If you already have a management system and you need to either add an additional management system to it, or you want to get more value out of your existing management system, yes, this series will be really beneficial for you. Things we're going to look at over the next 20 weeks. The first 6 or 7 weeks, there really are tools and techniques to help us identify the context we're working in, what are the key risks and the key compliance obligations we are trying to manage through our management system, what's our defining and identifying our intended performance, really as outputs to help you design a management system that will allow you to achieve that intended performance, as well as how do we identify the scope of work involved, plan our approach to implementing the management system, make sure we're communicating and consulting with people, not just in designing and implementing the system, but also in the stage of maintaining our system. And we've been a little bit dramatic at week 7 where we're saying stop at this point. If you're starting to design your system and you don't have top management endorsement on board, it's time to down tools. You really need to get that kind of endorsement. Week 8, we'll talk about the tool we use a little, how to put together a business case, really to say to management, here's what's happening, here's why we're doing it, here's the benefits, etc. as a strategy to manage up and make sure we officially have top management endorsement for what we're doing. If we don't, we say down tools, because that is one of those issues that starts to show up after 2, 3, 4, 5 years and becomes more problematic as those years roll on if the top management support's not really there. Again, in implementing, we'll talk about the value of a project team, how to evaluate your progress as you go, things like that, as well as how to design a system that will allow you to achieve improvement and to get value out of it rather than just conforming to a standard. Those kind of webinars, again, if you've got an existing system and you have that feeling, gee, we're not getting a lot of value out of it, or how do we improve, they'll be valuable for you as well. Week 13, I would watch that one alone out of all of them. How do we avoid those issues that, we really stress they're not, if you're looking at the standard for the first time, they're not immediately evident, but if they're there, they are the kind of things that cause our system to almost can become unworkable over time if we're not aware of those kind of issues. That's where, as a consultant, I often get called in. That's how I've paid off that nice sports car in the garage behind me right there. You can avoid being one of those people who have to help pay for my next upgrade, if you like. So there's a good reason to watch week 13 alone. Later kind of webinars we're posting, applying a little bit of risk-based thinking. The 2 after that is really thinking about, well, hang on, again, one of those issues that's not always evident when we're just focused on how do we meet the standard is, well, how do the workforce react to it? How is this going to help us advance our risk or safety culture over time? They're things you can and should think about during the design, and you bet your bottom dollar it's not something we always think about, but yes, the workforce do react to the design of our system. If it's something that we get wrong, can be the cause of the workforce not participating or not reporting issues of concern when perhaps they should. We'll be looking at setting in the latter weeks how to develop effective documentation. It's an area where we see a lot of organisations with the level of documentation is becoming a problem for them. The system just doesn't function. So how do we scale that back and really target developing documented guidance, A, where we need it, and B, that is in a format that's a little bit better of a learning tool than a lot of documents we see out there. Setting meaningful objectives too. Again, that's one of those things we've seen organisations set some objectives, put in place action plans to support that, gather metrics over 3, 5, 7 years. End result of that, it hasn't really helped them improve their performance in any kind of meaningful way over time. So we're going to really take a step back. How do we strip that back and identify objectives and measure things that will be valuable for your business? As well as a focus in the last week there about, often there's a lot of momentum around implementing a system. What are strategies to keep that workforce and management focus as we seek to maintain the system over the time? Now, this is one of we put out many series of these kind of video blogs, if you like, over time. You can see them on our blog page there, which I've listed there, or our YouTube channel, as well as most often when we post something, we always have a template or a tool. So check out our resources page. We'll be doing that right through this series as well. If that's not enough material to help you learn and improve your knowledge, I would we've also put down there the website link for Mango, which is an integrated system software product we work with a lot of our customers. They have a huge library of training material, webinars, etc., free resources. So we've got a link there to their page, as well as some of the Mango partners across the different states of Australia, New Zealand, UK, Scotland, South Africa, things like that. They're all posting similar, similar kind of videos, really, again, helping you, and webinars helping you improve your knowledge about ISO management system standards. An absolute wealth of knowledge there, well worth checking out.